Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from Mason Works Marketing here on Conscious Business Zone. And I am so excited to share a video recording of an interview that I did with Ben Bowler of Unity Earth and World Unity Week, because he is in Australia. And if we would have tried to do it right now, it's 2 a.m. in the morning for him. So with that, I'm going to start the video, and hopefully you'll be as impressed as I am with him and want to join us. Before I say that, I want to let you know, not only can you join and go to worldunityweek.org for information. I'm part of a group called Co-Creators Convergence, and we have a jam-packed presentations day after day after day for you that I'd love to talk to you about at some point as well, starting on Tuesday, next Tuesday, the 22nd. So without further ado, let me share Ben's awesome video. And how do I do that? Let's see. Nope, I didn't need. Hold on one second. I guess I need my glasses. Sorry. Here we go. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from Mason Works Marketing here on Conscious Business Zone. Today, I'm so excited to introduce you, if you haven't met him before, to Ben Bowler. Hi, Ben. How are you?
Hi, Kathy. I'm doing great. It's wonderful to be back with you. So great to be back here.
Yes, and the peace pole is still in the corner. That's the cool part. Well,
Yeah.
everyone, this is quite a remarkable young man. If you haven't met Ben before, I can only give him praise from my heart over and over and again because of his servant leadership. He has combined and created an event called World Unity Week, which this is our second one. But he has created an event where he's put so many different contrasting people together to really explore what unity and oneness means on our planet. And it's a remarkable thing to watch. So Ben, you're the executive director of Unity Earth. So could we start at first with explaining your journey to World Unity Week a little bit so that people can understand and see why I'm such a big fan?
Sure. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, it's been a beautiful journey, a rich journey, Kathy. It's taken me all around the world and met, just so many extraordinary, amazing people and leaders from all different walks of life. And we started really with a focus on spiritual unity. That was the beginning. I'd always been fascinated by the diversity of cultures and the diversity of, I guess, spiritual and religious belief. Had been exposed to indigenous knowledge and wisdom through my upbringing, and also growing up Catholic, I suppose, just always felt like a profound connection to the divine, and at the same time fascinated by just the sheer number of traditions that there were in humanity, and how many different religions and how many different spiritual cultures there were. So that was kind of in me, and then had an opportunity 10 years ago or more to work in Thailand. My wife at the time and I had started a small foundation in Thailand, and we got to meet some Buddhist monks, a wonderful young leader running the temple up in Thailand. And many of your listeners may know that in Thai Theravada tradition, it's really part of the practice for men in particular these days, but women as well, to take time out from their everyday life and experience life of a monk. And this is like a deep dive, away from work and study and family and business, and like really deep dive into the tradition that Lord Buddha laid out and that the Thai tradition, holds so dearly in Theravada Buddhism. So we started in 2008 or 2009, I think, monk for a month. And little did we know then, or perhaps, who knew, but that was really the beginning of something that's triggered so much, an extraordinary journey. So monk for a month ran for many years. People came from all over the world to experience Thai temple life. And not long after that, we started a similar program in Turkey called Muslim for a month. And again, this is a deep, authentic, the whole idea behind that was getting firsthand experience because there's so much opinion, there's so much secondhand commentary, there's so much, secondhand information. They're really wanting to people to understand, well, what's the life of a Islamic family in Turkey like. So we had Jews and agnostics and atheists and Christians and Muslims, all people under the sun, coming and doing that program and experiencing life in a Sufi lodge, homestead, dining with Turkish families, going to the Sultan Ayap Mosque in Istanbul, which is amazing, and then finally pilgrimage to Konya for the pilgrimage to Rumi, where Rumi's mausoleum is. So we were running these deep immersion experiences and just kept kind of adding to them and different ones around the world. We had Rastafarian experience in Ethiopia and many different ones. And along the journey, Kathy started adding music and creating festivals. So the first U-Day festival was in Thailand in 2012, and Barbara Marks Hubbard and Stephen Dinan had their birth 2012, and we're a little pinprick on the map there. But that was the beginning of so much that got born. Pato Banton came with Antoinette Root's daughter, and our Muslim friends came. We had indigenous content, the monks, Prama Bunchwe Duje to help convene that. So it was a beautiful beginning. And since then, that was really the start of what we started calling the road to 2020. And again, little did we know what 2020 was going to mean for all of us. But we started this road to 2020, and it literally took us all over the planet to the outback of Australia. The sacred lands of Aboriginal people and ancestral remains were returned to the World Heritage Area of Lake Mungo in 2017. And that was a really powerful event in the story. Then took us to Ethiopia, to the Rift Valley, and to the Rastafarian community of Shashamane, the sacred site of Lalibela, and to the African Union. And since then, all over the planet, the Parliament of World Religions in Salt Lake City in 2015 and Toronto in 2018, Fields of Healing in Byron Bay here in Australia, the Varanasi Convergence in Varanasi in India, and on to the Crestone Convergence was earlier than that. I mean, it's such a big journey, Kathy, and it culminated in the Holy Land Living Water journey in February 2020, which 100 spiritual leaders, indigenous leaders, religious people, musicians, artists, heads of organizations really came and took this pilgrimage across Jordan, Palestine, and Israel. And that was the last big thing we did before the world got shut down. And it was out of that first deep global shutdown that World Unity Week emerged around June 2020.
Wow. So that's the trip to the Holy Lands is how I met you. Although I'm surprised I hadn't met you before because of Crestone and because of Barbara Marks Hubbard, because I was at the center here for 2012 watching you guys.
Amazing.
So somehow our paths just didn't hit until Noel and Bob introduced me as part of Co-Creators Convergence, which I'm very, very committed to them and to that whole movement, which again is what you're creating is a co-creation. It's a opportunity. Oh,
Noel and Bob.
well, it's an opportunity to show up in the field and be curious and aware enough of the trust of the field to direct us. And that's what I see you doing as well. You don't have everything all scripted. You're very trusting with your partners and how everything is working and holding space in the field for this beautiful co-creation to happen. So what I thought we'd talk about next, if we could, is that the theme for World Unity Week this year is let's do something. Cha cha cha.
Uh-huh,
And
uh-huh.
and
Right.
it's June 19th through the 26th. So where did that come from? Let's do something.
Well, it's interesting, Kathy, because last year the theme that emerged, and you're right that we don't have like a 5-year strategic plan. We haven't got this all mapped out. I mean, this is very much the journey of the road to 2020. The emergence of World Unity Week has been, following the field, as you say. I think that's a beautiful way to put it. And last year the theme was answering the call. So it was really this kind of a mystical start of the journey in a way. And all of those that answered the call to come together and co-convene World Unity Week. And I guess after 15 months of lockdown and a certain a kind of idea that rather than just feel paralyzed by the world's problems or sort of be disempowered because there's some big great power that's doing something to us and stopping us in our own or agency, the essence of like let's do something is returning, is claiming our agency as partners in creation and as human beings who ultimately are responsible for the direction we go on the planet. We're really inspired by people who don't just complain about things, but people who really stand up and rise up and against overwhelming challenges often make a stand to do something. And there are so many millions and millions of heroes and heroines around the planet. We all know them at the local level, the grassroots level. They don't need to be household names. They don't need to be huge, successful NGOs or campaigns. And they might be. But they also might be, the kids down the corner that are doing something to raise money to plant trees. I mean, there is so much to be done. So this inspiration of, yes, let's do something. Let's reclaim our agency. Let's highlight and spotlight those who are taking an active, mature, sophisticated approach to the challenges that we face and meeting them head on. And let's get behind people who are leading the way. So that was really the impulse behind let's do something. Again, it came from elsewhere, and it's the right theme for now, and it's certainly something that a lot of people are buzzing with this energy of like, let's do something. Let's do something together. Let's do something for the planet. Let's do something for water. Let's do something for the children, for all of life. Let's do something about climate justice. Let's do something about racial injustice. So, there's that real driving, animating spirit of we can and we will take this opportunity to shoulder meet the challenges that we face.
Well, I think what I'm feeling too from watching this, it's just the orchestration and the program and the participants. I love everyone I've met. I haven't seen people be in their ego, which I'm sorry, I've been doing this for 21 years. I've seen a lot of ego in the past.
Not in the spiritual community,
No,
Kathy,
no,
surely.
not that. But what we're seeing is a consciousness where people really want to play together. They want to be a part of the solution. They don't want to waste any more time analyzing. They want to see what else they can do, and they're delighted to find each other. So there's this like playfulness and high joyfulness that instead of because part of the reason I think a lot of the abuses in the world happened and have were perpetuated is that there's a lot of shame. I mean, especially with the racial injustice, there's a lot of shame. And how do you address that? You can't just sweep it under the carpet. But when you see people playing and there's no racial priority to anything, that it's everyone showing up as a human gift to the whole, and they're sharing their gifts that way, and they're appreciated and honored for their gifts that way. It goes back to, I think, a more indigenous way of looking at the world and culture. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think you've touched on it. There are some really sensitive, challenging aspects of humanity is facing. whole approach to race all around the planet, not just in the United States, and the history, the dark and challenging history of slavery and racism in America, but it's something we have here in Australia with colonization of the Aboriginal lands and the lie that there was nobody here when the British got here. I mean, we have so many parts of our past to face and own and to repent. And I think repentance may not be a very popular word, but it may be the doorway through for us in all sincerity. And, I think that there's a place, Kathy, and a space where grief can coexist with joy and can coexist with laughter and love and determination and healing and that we can hold all of these different spaces in our hearts together.
Right.
And I feel like that's the space that we're going into. That's certainly the field of World Unity Week. Our opening ceremony is on June the 19th, on Juneteenth. So, we're very blessed to have Reverend Sylvia Sumter from the Unity Church in Washington joining Dr. Marty K. Casey in acknowledging the important historic date as we also open up World Unity Week at the same time. So how do we navigate? How do we acknowledge the hurts, the wounds, the pains that are real and that we need to face, while at the same time moving forward together? It's a challenge, and it's one that we are very grateful to be walking shoulder to shoulder and heart to heart with many, many others. Patso Banton and Antoinette Root's daughter have a Unity in the Community concert on June 18th, which is down there in Lake Elsinore, also part of the June 19th thing. So it's like these things can't be seen in isolation. How do we find a way to honor them and yet at the same time connect them to ecological vitality and healing, protecting water, protecting sacred sites, healing with the indigenous people of the world that have been so abused through colonization, this whole mindset that might is right and that power, is a corrupting influence. We got to turn that, we're turning that on its head. And that's really, that these values that we are holding closely is about how to honor and heal all of the different elements and yet come together as one body of humanity on this beautiful Mother Earth.
Right, we are one, and those shadows, once they're integrated, can create instead of discordant energies and a future that's filled with high contrast like that. It can add to a more peaceful and loving future for my grandkids, your kids. And I think the idea of let's do something doesn't mean that you have to be an activist. What it means is that you get to know the others. You get to really experience, because I lived in Italy. I went to school there. My daughter was in the Peace Corps in Africa for 3 years. I went to visit her. I've been to lots of other countries. And once you sit down at the dinner table with someone else, there is no barrier. We're all human beings. And so what you're seeing by even this event where you're bringing all those beautiful essences of all the different cultures and worldviews together to be shared without fear. That's the other thing. When you think about 40 years ago, this couldn't have happened. So
absolutely. Well, that's right, Kathy. And the technology is enabling it to happen. So, we've got to acknowledge here the brilliance of John Raymer, who even back in the original World Unity Week, was really, we came together and what can we do in this global lockdown? We were inspired by what Humanity Rising was starting to do and sort of to convene online. And, World Unity Week really, the story of how it emerged is a really beautiful one. And John's, genius to really lay out the technology to give everybody an opportunity to not just come and participate in an event, but come and actually, present at the event so that everybody can come and present, hold your event and have your musical offering or your meditation or your workshop or your panel. And it's such a beautiful design of a belonging for everybody. And that's really one of the drivers. We've got over 500 events this year in the online convergence as part of World Unity Week. It's astounding. And it's so beautiful. And they're all amazing. If you go through and look at every one of them is amazing in their own way. So I think you're right, Kathy, the timing, the technology, And, you know, maybe we've all just done a sufficient amount of growing up in our organizations or in our own individuality to get to a point where it's like, hey, we don't have time to mess around anymore. It's not about my brand, my logo, my, you know, my own self advancement. It's like we're here to get this done, and there's a sufficiency of that spirit of like we're here to get this done, that's showing up right now, which is really inspiring.
I think it's also that with the lockdown came a lot of people, they had to come to terms with their mortality, their essence, their values. They had to be in lockdown with their family and pay attention and be present. And so we're a different humanity than we were last year when we did this. When we did this last year, I got to be part of this part with Co-Creators Convergence. I'm doing again this year. And then I got to be part of when Caravan of Unity came through. I got to be a part of that. And so, I mean, it was like, cool, wonder what we're doing. kind of, you felt like you're at the beginning of this transformative experience, but no expectation for the ending, but excited about it and knowing all was good. And that's where I think if we can get there as a humanity, the trust of that is such a different space to live in.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Kathy. I think you've really, you know, just to pause for a moment, I think you really have um, felt that very deeply. And it is that trust that doesn't know the answer, you know, and doesn't have the solution and doesn't know how this unfolds or where it goes, and yet shows up fully for the journey. That is a remarkable, notable, distinguishable feature of this community. And like, for example, the Caravan of Unity that you mentioned is a really beautiful example, because the Caravan of Unity across America was the whole supposed to be the whole culmination of the whole thing, you know, with thousands of people moving in convoy across America. That was like the 10-year vision, having built up in all these sacred places and lands and communities around the world. And you know, but then, you know, God had other ideas, and the COVID happened, and so but
It,
we adjusted. You know, we
right.
adjusted, and I'm so proud of, you know, Gary Malkin and Peter Melton and the team at Hubcast and Sign and Unity Earth and everybody who we did it anyway. And we
Right.
had a beautiful event at Grace Cathedral. There was no audience live, but we were live streaming it out. We had the most amazing musicians and presentation. And we did that right across the country, including in Colorado, which was such a beautiful
No,
day.
really.
Um,
I need it.
and it was a turning point. It was a real turning point. And so that Caravan of Unity built, you know, sort of it culminated. We completed on that, and then turned the page into 2021. And then really now it's all World Unity Week is our focus from Unity Earth going forward now, to keep this heartbeat on the mid-year solstice every year, and really build this out to be you know, a premier space for advancing the consciousness that's carrying the Earth to its new chapter.
Well, I want to show the website, but first I want to reiterate, in case people don't know what we're talking about. This is an opportunity for those of you that are really feeling you want to do something, and that you kind of are missing your soul family, to check this out. It's all free. It's all online, so you don't have any excuses that it costs money or you can't do it. You can't do it. You're watching this now, so you can watch it, and give yourself a chance to see where you might be able to fit in, because each one of these presenters represents usually a group or a direction that may need your volunteer space or your donation or your attention, because or your friend circle to know about it. So this is really, we're talking about a drop in the ocean that's really the wave in the ocean, that's part of the evolution of our species to a more mystical place. And a lot of these people are quite conscious, if you want to use that word, or they've done very beautiful, beautiful work to help their communities. And you might not even know they exist. You may never have heard of them, and there's video and music. And so this is edutainment in a lot of ways. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not like, oh God, I got to read a book. Um, right?
Right, right. No, it's very engaging. And Kathy, to your point too, we need support. We need help. I mean, this is the co-create. I love the co-creators convergence. It's such a great name for
Yes.
what the spirit of this is, where we all come together, and it's not about one group that's leading and everyone else is following. It's certainly not about any one individual. So it is about how all of us can come together and be that collective rising. And we need support. So if anybody feels called to this, we need Zoom Tech hosts. You can get trained up to be a part of it. You can be a volunteer. You can volunteer in so many different ways. Go to worldunityweek.org/participate. You can fill that out.
Sure that I'm going to show it right now, okay? Because
Yeah, let's
then
do it.
you can talk with this handy for you, and I'll drive it. Just tell me what you want me
Here
to.
it is. So the co-sponsors, thanks to the generosity of our co-sponsors, that makes World Unity Week free for the whole world. I mean, it's an amazing gift, and you can support it. You can give back to Purpose Earth, who are blessing change makers all around the world. The International Academy for Multicultural Cooperation, and there are some brand new co-sponsors that are being added today, I think, including Spiritual Life TV and news stories and the Great Transition stories, as well as the Optimist Daily. So we're getting all this support and blessing coming in. We would love for you to, get connected. You can go to worldunityweek.org/participate. We took the link out because we have too many events, but you can get there, you can register, and you can find your way into the system. We would love for you to join and connect, and not just to watch, but to participate and even volunteer with us for World Unity Week. It's a lot of fun. It's a great community, as Kathy just explained.
Well, this is what you have to understand, that I mean, every time someone's added, I want to go see what they are, because it feels like it's my tribe. It feels
Mm,
like these people got the same memo that
right.
I got, that hey, it's time. This is what we came here for. That we're going into a renaissance. We've been in the dark ages, and this is a big part of the momentum that's turning the ship around. And you'll find these people, one person's cooler than the next, you guys. It's amazing. So what Ben was talking about was a register button. There used to be a participant button here, but right here, this yellow button is the register button that
Yeah.
allows you to connect with everything that's happening. It allows you to get on the email list, and then every day from the 19th through the 26th, you'll get links, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So exactly. So once you've registered, then we will be able to be in the flow. And if anybody does want to go a little bit deeper, it's worldunityweek.org/participate, and you can fill out the form and click volunteer, and we'll be in touch with you about the trainings, and we'll get you right in there. It's such an adventure. Here are our co-producers: Unity Earth, Purpose Earth, the Sign Network, and the Hague Center for Global Governance. So the co-producers, incredible work that's been done by every single one of those organizations to make this happen. And we are also, co-convened by hundreds of organizations. And I think, Kathy, if you go to the About page, you'll see many of those. But wonderful. It's just a wonderful collaboration. Here's our amazing ambassadors. Let's do something together. And you see there a little bit of copy. And then we're into the co-conveners, and they're literally, more than are even available on this website. But the United Religions Initiative, We the World, Good of the Whole, so many different organizations, Humanities Team,
Yeah,
absolutely. Steve Farrell and the team there in Colorado, and Global Security Institute, Together in Creation, Ubiquity University, Greenheart, just amazing organizations all over the world, and Compassion Games, of course.
yes. Okay, so what we want you to do is go to worldunityweek.org and look around the site, register. And we also want you to consider how you could share this, because we really need other people all around the world that may not have been exposed to this yet to know about it. I know there's a lot of you, the people that watch my show that are in Europe. Please, please, please share it on your group pages so that more people will know about this. And please come have fun with us. This is quite amazing. So I'm going to stop share 1 second and then share again something, a picture that you can speak to real quick.
And just as you're sharing that, Kathy, I want to just, underscore that invitation to people. This is not just about what happens next week. This is about really taking a journey together over the next 10 years. So World Unity Week, we have a commitment to, for the next 10 years, to really promote and to convene and to execute World Unity Week. So everybody who was involved with us last year in some capacity is connected to World Unity Week this year, and we're growing like tenfold. So we'd love to connect with you now so we can empower each other to grow this over the next year. We're already thinking about 2022. So let's come and play so we can play some more. And that's right. Here is our World Unity Week. One of the graphic posters. To be honest with you, Kathy, we have so many amazing people that we have multiple versions of this poster. We can't fit all the incredible people on there. And it's a tough job, so choosing who to put on and who not to put on. But you can see Dr. Jane Goodall, what an inspiration, what a legend, what a human elder. Vandana Shiva, Dr. Deepak Chopra, Paul Hawken, what an inspiration he is to so many people. The amazing Audrey Kitagawa, who has such an incredible career and history of service to humanity, and is a founder of the International Academy for Multicultural Cooperation. Sadhviji Bhagawati Saraswati, incredible water activist and spiritual leader from Rishikesh in India. Jonathan Granoff, president of the Global Security Institute. Marty K. Casey from Ungun. I mean, it is such an extraordinary, and you've got in there musicians like Rocky and Kristen and incredible eminent scientists like David Sloan Wilson. I'm talking about activists. Gidon Bromberg, one of the directors of EcoPeace Middle East. There's a Palestinian director, Nada, a Jordanian director, Yana, and Gidon is the Israeli director, but they are such an inspiration for us, what they do for ecological peace building. And the amazing Lila June, who's actually the co-host of the opening ceremony. Let me just touch on that, Kathy, because we just finished our tech rehearsal. This is a historic gathering on the 19th of June at 12 p.m. Eastern time. The opening ceremony is going to be an incredible, rich, deep blessing. We have the global grandmothers are coming together, Auntie Pat McCabe, and the Sisters of Human Reunion. These are amazing intercultural group that Pat has brought together. Includes Joanna Macy, but all sorts of other amazing women that are coming to pray for this opening ceremony and pray and to begin us in a good way. And then there's prayers from Jerusalem, from Ashmi Sharif in India, from the African Union in Africa. I mean, it really is a truly global opening ceremony for World Unity Week. And Lila June's a co-host. So make sure you come on. You can be live in the room, in room 1, when all of this is happening. So we invite everybody to come and to participate in that.
It's amazing that technology is so advanced at this point that we could do this. And I think that so people understand what it's 8 days. And at least 5 of them, there are 31 Zoom rooms that are going almost all day, every day. And that, I mean, just the coordination, the love that Becky and John and all the people that have, and Irene and have supported, it's that alone is worth just being around you guys. Just to see that. It's amazing.
They are amazing. They are amazing. They are amazing. And you know what it is, Kathy? It's that never give up, never complain, never go into kind of over the energy of like, oh, this is all too much. These are people that are willing to live with the ambiguity, live with the uncertainty, live with the unknowing, show up in full presence, show up in love and service, and lead the way forward. It's super, super inspiring. You're absolutely right. And that creates a culture. That creates a culture which is just, part of something that we're all creating together, which is perhaps the most important thing of all.
And obviously they don't sleep.
No, that's right. They don't. I don't know how they do it.
Well, that's why I think that part of this is also watching the technology, because this is what, if you had a worldwide television program, this is what you did almost 24/7 um, uh, shows, and that's pretty much what you're not doing it 24/7, but you've got almost like what a TV channel would be.
Yeah, well, yeah. In fact, the featured presentations, which is just one stream out of those, as you say, 32, 33 streams that are running.
Oh,
The
there's
featured presentation, is including a lot of the big names, I guess, but also some incredible presentations from around the world, some extraordinary ones. I mean, the one with Chief Phil Lane Jr. live with Jane Goodall in the room. It's going to be such a privilege to witness that. And what an opportunity, given free to the whole world to come in. Same with Vandana Shiva. You can come in, into the Zoom room in room one with Vandana Shiva and be there. And even there'll be some questions, so you might get a chance to ask her one. It's an incredible offering, and we're really excited about it, and we appreciate the opportunity to tell your audience about it, Kathy, just being so close to World Unity Week.
Oh, great. Okay, so I know we don't have much more time, but I wanted to do one quick shout out about the One World. And I have the image here, if that's okay, I'll grab it real quick. And
Yep.
that way you could at least let people know, because that's part of this wild technology that is creating, let me make it bigger, making it bigger. Can you see okay?
Yeah, I can see it beautifully. There is our gorgeous one world. And what an amazing space that's been co-created for all of us for World Unity Week. You see in the middle the sacred giving tree, the hub and the canoe and room one there in the middle. And you've got all of the beauty around it, the capital city with all of the town hall and the policy discussions, and the Temple of Temples, where there's going to be absolutely amazing Temple of the Rising Feminine, Temple of the Rising Masculine, and the Temple of the Heart. The Visionaries Mountain, which is where the gifts of the Magi are, the co-creators
That's
convergence, as
right.
well as
Yep.
that's where you're going to be, Kathy, right? Hanging here, I can see you on top of the mountain there.
You have the red one. Yeah.
That's it. And the evolutionary leaders are there as well. And you'll see the water is running all the way through. Water is everywhere in World Unity Week and in One World. And water is something that we are honoring and elevating, protecting, and nurturing, and giving thanks to water right throughout the whole celebration. So it's a cosmic gateway, where people can engage in the exploration of other realms beyond our everyday consciousness. So there is a lot happening. There's a playground for the kids. There's a high learning area. So there really is. This is something that is absolutely incredible work of Cara Stonehouse, the artist who's put all this together, and of course all of the love that's gone into it.
Well, the thing I wanted everyone to see, I wanted them to see this is not your traditional event, the online event where it's academic and it's stuffy. This is really a celebration and a sharing of information. I'm calling it edutainment because in most cases, it's a presentation that will be told with story or experience, and you'll be able to grasp it. It's not like, oh no, I've got to read a book after I saw a presentation. This is truly heart space, heart activating work. That's the way I look at the whole World Unity Week.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing to have that artistry, that creative, and Rhiannon Catalyst, the creative director of the opening ceremony, as well as a Sparkle verse, and people will be able to take a deep dive into some really immersive stuff in Sparkle. We're really pushing the needle this year in so many different ways of World
Right.
Unity. It's amazing, and the genius that's been poured into it. So a place where artists and scientists and musicians and activists and spiritual leaders and meditators and everybody, communicators and media and business people and platforms and NGOs all come together and say, let's do something.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. So everyone, you want to go to worldunityweek.org, and you want to follow Ben on Facebook. Is that the best way for them,
Sure.
or to follow
Facebook,
you on
Unity
YouTube?
Earth, Unity Earth's on Twitter. If you're on Twitter and Facebook, we're on Facebook and Instagram. I think there's something there as well. Yep, you'll find us. If you want to find us, you'll find us.
Well, I think what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to watch Ben, because this is only year 2, which he's calling year 1, because last year was year 0. But but what he's somebody you want to watch, because something amazing is going to happen from this wave that is starting out. And I'm so proud to know you, and thank you so much for what you're sharing with all of us and your leadership.
Oh, well, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for your support and for your love and for your enthusiastic co-creation in
Yeah.
World Unity Week. It's been a joy and a delight to be here with you again in Conscious Business.
Yes, it's our time. This was what we came here for. I truly believe that. I truly believe that this is a turning point, and we're going from the Dark Ages to the Renaissance. And
Yes.
so here's part of what you're going to see as the Renaissance, where people show up fully as they're capable.
Absolutely. And just a final word, Kathy, it's not just us humans either. I mean, it really is all of life. All of life on earth and all of life seen and unseen. I mean, all together, all of creation coming together to really change the story, to change the story together and to do it together and to let the heart lead, where this world that wants. For so long, you talk about being stuck in the dark ages. It's been a mind dominated, male dominated, mind dominated, power dominated eons of history. And so we're coming into a new way of being where the heart and the women and the water and the feminine and the faith and the hope and the love and the trust are leading and showing the way. So it's great to be here with you at this very special moment.
Thank you. Thank you. So again, go to worldunityweek.org and I'll see you there.
Thanks, Kathy.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
See you in one world.
Oh, in one word. Okay. Good morning. So thank you all for watching this. I hope the audio was okay. I also have this up on YouTube so that hopefully you'll be able to watch it there too. But go to worldunityweek.org, or please join us, Co-Creators Convergence, in our Zoom room, because I will be sharing more about our presentations, but this is truly an opportunity to experience a wide spectrum of ways that you could share your gifts, be appreciated, and find your tribe. So please join us at worldunityweek.org, or go to Co-Creators Convergence here on Facebook and join our group. It's open, it's a public group, and we'd love to have you. And join our group there, and then you'll be notified of all the cool stuff that we're doing for the 22nd through the 25th. We're one of those I thought it was 30 rooms, but I guess there's 32 or 33 Zoom rooms, all going all at the same time, all sharing opportunities for expanding consciousness. Yay! So please join us, and thank you guys so much for showing up. Please share this video if you're so called to. Want as many people to participate as possible, and I don't think you can go wrong with following any of this, because each one of these people is a superstar. I'm so honored to be part of this. So thank you guys. I hope you'll enjoy World Unity Week. Go to worldunityweek.org or Co-Creators Convergence on Facebook and join us. Thank you.